In today's rider tip, we've got one specifically for you racers out there. We're going to take a look at mental preparation for race day and also give you a few little tips on how you can achieve your results you're after. Now, the first little introduction to mental preparation and staying positive has got so much to do with what you do during the week. If you put yourself in situations during the week with your training and your preparation so that on race day, when you line up on the start line and you have a little bit of a look along the line at your other competitors, you know that you've done the homework, you've done all the hard yards. It's going to put you in a very good position on race day. Next, we need to have a little bit of a chat about dealing with those nerves and a couple of things that you can do on race day. And one of the main things is a lot of people tend to listen to hyped up music to try and get them in the right frame of mind. But I think before you decide to do that, you need to identify what type of personality you are. If you're already a hyped up, little bit of a crazy person, the last thing you want to be doing is listening to that type of music just before you get out. You're likely to have a massive first turn crash, for example. If you're a little bit calm and you need that bit of a pep up, listen to some hyped up music. You get into that right frame of mind, nice and focused and ready for the drop of the gate. And while we're on the subject of nerves, it's important to remember that even the best of the best get nervous. And a lot of the time, the real top guys will use that nervous energy to the best of their advantage. So don't feel that just because you're getting a few butterflies going on, that you're a little bit out of the ordinary. Because if you don't get those nerves, you're not going to be ready to rock and roll for that first race. So you need to work with them rather than against them. Don't think there's anything wrong with getting that little bit nervous. Now next up, we're going to talk about dealing with adverse weather conditions and how you can have a slightly better attitude when you wake up on those mornings where it's cold, it's wet, it's windy, and you know you have to rock up to the race line and deal with these conditions. The only way to get good in the wet is to go practice in the wet. So when you wake up in the morning, you see it's raining during the middle of the week, it's time to go and practice, because if you can get your skills up in the wet, then come race morning when you wake up and it's raining and it's terrible conditions, you're going to all of a sudden have a much more positive attitude. And that's one of the biggest secrets in learning how to ride the mud and have a positive attitude on race day. And last but not least, we're going to talk about how you can turn a bad day into a good day. Now for me personally, it's an area that I first struggled with in my early years of turning professional when I was 17, 18, 19 years of age, getting some good results racing against some of the best riders in the country. But I'd find that if I had a crash in practice or maybe a bad first race, it always seemed to snowball into a bad day. And I know a lot of the young riders that are some of the best juniors in the country that I look after have similar problems, and I'm always getting asked by their parents, how can we fix this up? And for me personally, it was something that just changed overnight. And I realised that if something goes wrong and you come back into the pits, you dust yourself off, you might want to put a new set of gear on. For some of the factory riders, they might go and hop in the factory truck and have themselves a shower. You may want to go and have a walk around the track or a walk around the pits. Just spend a little bit of time by yourself and try to reset that mental frame of mind and start from scratch. And you'll find you'll be able to line back up on that start line again, dig deep and find from somewhere that little bit of extra concentration that'll get you right back on track again.